What's going on YouTube? Jay Clark the Jumper here, and I have a special guest for you guys. Billy Duran, aka White Flight, aka Billy Dunkademics, the man behind the camera. Dunkademics, you can see it on his shirt. Billy, thank you for doing this interview. First and foremost, just tell me how you got into dunking and how that led to creating Dunkademics.
So, I've been into dunking since before I can remember, elementary school. I watched Michael Jordan's Playground probably a million times. And then once Kobe came into the league, he was my favorite player. And luckily, he is probably the most versatile dunker to ever be in the NBA as far as, the different styles that he could do. He could jump both plants off 2 feet or off 1 foot or off the opposite foot and do tricks with any of those ways. So basically, I'd watch Kobe play, and then got other guys like Vince, Jordan, Dominique, and I'd watch them, and then I'd go out in my backyard and I'd practice it on a 7-foot hoop. And then I got older, obviously, started moving up the hoop. I got my first dunk at age 14 at my high school, and then I kind of gradually improved from there. At the end of high school, I was basically just windmilling. And then right out of high school, I completely tore my left ankle, all the way through. And so that put me on delay a little bit. I started doing 2 feet more often. And basically then, people started posting dunks on YouTube. Guys like David Thacker were guys that, I tried to look up to. And I got a camera, and I started posting after that in 2007. Just started to post my progress, and 2009 was the breakout. The YouTube had a dunk contest. Basically, you send in your clips, and they had a contest based off that, and I ended up winning that contest. And they flew me out to London for a dunk contest out there. I was featured on ESPN, and so that kind of took my YouTube channel a lot higher, and my dunking personally. After that, things pretty much went downhill. I started getting injured all the time, and I didn't really get to the peak that I wanted to with dunking. I ended up having 2 knee surgeries. But through the process, I started dunking with guys like Hanif. Hanif was the first guy that I started dunking with, because he actually went to my old high school. And so we would do dunk sessions, and basically it started off both of us dunking, and then it gradually just went to just him dunking. And then Air Dog got involved, and then I basically created Dunkademics out of that. I wasn't dunking very much anymore, and I realized that my dunks weren't on the same level as their dunks. So I know that people didn't really want to see my dunks as much. So I created Dunkademics. I came up with the name in, I think, 2011, and took it from there. Luckily, I live in Los Angeles, where a lot of guys are just around, and so I just do as much dunk sessions as possible, go to all the events and film them, and I just really pushed it from there. And, I started part-time. I had a job at a tennis club where I could work on videos, and now I'm trying to make it more full-time. But that's for the most part, that's pretty much it. So I went from dunker to behind the camera, and now Dunkademics is where it's at.
Awesome. Okay, now everybody can go check out your YouTube channel and see some pretty amazing dunks. Now let's talk about what they can't see. What are some cool dunks? Anything basketball related, or anything that you filmed or didn't film that, let's say a dunk that you missed, or crazy stories behind a session, anything that you want to share.
So as far as a dunk that I've missed a few dunks where, missing a dunk where I'm recording and I didn't catch it. Just last summer, I was the official cameraman for the Drew League.
Okay.
And so I was filming a game, and it's, you don't film many free throws because not much happens during free throw. But this one game, somebody's talking to me, so I just have my camera by my side, but I'm kind of halfway looking at the rim, and the free throw goes up, so I look over, and this random dude, not a known name or anything, comes through the lane, jumps up with 2 guys underneath him, catches it reverse, and dunks over the top of them. And I'm just sitting there watching it as it happens with my camera in my hand, and I'm not filming it. And it was literally the greatest free throw putback that I've ever seen, and I didn't get it on camera. So I was depressed for a few weeks after that. And it's funny because there was literally like 4 other cameras that were supposed to be filming the game, and nobody got it on camera. So I'm sorry. I think the dude's name was Jordan M something. I can't remember, but he had maybe the greatest free throw putback of all time, and I missed it.
That is crazy. All right, you filmed a lot of guys, a lot of big time names. Just share with everyone some of your favorite dunks, your favorite dunkers, or the highest dunkers. Just any names that you want to throw out that you've worked with.
So a few things that stick out. One of my favorite dunks is Hanif's Armageddon, just because of how much work went into it. And there's a side story to that's sad. The guy who was actually holding the higher basketball for Hanif, he actually died last year, and so that's sad. But to brighten it up, I mean that dunk was like, we worked so hard on it. Hanif worked so hard on it, and like when he finally made it, it was just like crazy, because it was a dunk that the ball kept, like, it's so hard because you're dunking 2 balls at the same time, and one ball would always hit the other ball out, because he was clearly getting high enough every time. I mean, he had some of his best jumps on the misses, but he kept on missing it. But when he finally got it, it was awesome. That video did well, and that was really cool. His dunk over Blake Griffin, that was super exciting, because he had actually had 2 dunk contests with Blake Griffin. He had a Red Bull contest, and Blake, after the contest, had said that he would let Hanif jump over him. But then he ended up getting pulled away by some people to be interviewed, so Hanif couldn't jump over him. And so later that summer, he had the Blake Griffin dunk contest, and Blake let him jump over him, and he killed it. So that was cool. Some of the highest jumpers, I mean, as far as vertical goes, like how high they are off the ground, Daniel Kabaya might be the highest, straight vertical, or running vertical, and then like T-Dub is right up there too, and Hanif. The guys who got their head the highest are Jonathan and Just Fly, probably. All of them crazy. Oh, and Remix, who we just dunked with, is unbelievable. 35 years old still. That's another good story, is just Remix, because the guy is 35 years old. For the last 4 years that I've seen him consistently, every year I'm thinking, okay, he's probably lost it a little bit. Okay, he's probably lost it a little bit now. Maybe he's got an inch down now. But every time I see him, he's still doing 360 scoops with his head over the rim and just like doing ridiculous dunks. So shout out to Remix. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Before I do let you go, I have a couple more questions. First, for the people that don't already know, that can't read the shirt, where can they find you on social media? And also plug yourself too, because I think you have a pretty interesting Instagram personal account as well.
So obviously, Twitter and Instagram is at Dunkademics. Snapchat is Real Dunkademics. YouTube is youtube.com/Dunkademicsmixes or youtube.com/Dunkademics. I have both of them. Personally, on Instagram, I'm at Billy Dunkademics. I still post some low rim stuff every now and then. I got a cool dog that I love, and then sometimes I'll post random stuff from other dunkers or whatever. But yeah, follow me at Billy Dunkademics.
Okay. Now, the question I think everybody wants to know, for most of the people that are going to look at this interview, what does it take to get your dunk featured on Dunkademics? What does it take to get that exclusive shout out from Dunkademics? What dunks do you want to see?
So this is a question that I get asked a lot in my DMs on Instagram. People will send dunks, post this, post that, and I have to like tell them, like, that's cool, but I don't think, keep working hard. Like I try to be super nice with it because I don't want to hate, because most of the people who send the videos, like, they can jump higher than I can right now. And so I'm not trying to hate on you. I'm just trying to say that, fans now are spoiled. Like, I'll send them a video of Jonathan. I'm like, look at what Jonathan Clark is doing. Like, he just did a tomahawk to between the legs. Like, that's gonna go viral. Like, your little windmill that, you got a few inches below the rim on, you may have punched it, but like, it has no viral potential. That's kind of a thing I try to get to people. It's not a certain dunk that's gonna get posted. It's a video. Like, the whole video as a whole needs to have viral potential. So it needs to be like a good quality video, maybe good reactions, obviously, a good dunk, or maybe something funny that's dunk related. I'm not always super consistent with that, like, because sometimes I'll think something might have some viral potential, but maybe it doesn't. But for the most part, it has to have viral potential, has to be cool, or I have to like you a lot. You have to be a cool guy. Like, I won't even say, but you have to be somebody who I like and who I've tracked your progress quite a bit, and I'll give you some love. But other than that, yeah, it's got to be sick.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for the interview.
No problem.
I'll put all of your social media links below. Make sure you guys follow, check out Dunkademics, look at all their stuff. At Billy Dunkademics for his personal account. And thank you so much, Billy.
No problem.